Everyone. DFG here. Hope you guys can hear me pretty clear. I know I'm probably looking a little dark with this bib over my head. But hey guys, I just wanted to take a couple of moments and just have a little, I guess I'll say graveyard chat, because y'all know where I am, right? But we can, okay, let's call it a fireside chat. We don't want to scare the children. But, there was something I was thinking about today. This particular statement was in my head, and I thought I would just share it, with you guys, maybe hoping that it would encourage, someone today, someone who may be having a challenging day, challenging week, challenging month, maybe even a challenging year. And this statement is, I am now, old, but I have been young, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their children, begging bread. And when I say that to you, again, let me say it a second time. I may be old, but I was young. And during all that time, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their children begging bread. And, this statement, is utilized to help, to help you to realize that regardless of what you might be going through, there's always the opportunity that situation is just a temporary situation. And what it means by, or what I meant by when I say, young and old, I'm talking about through the span of life. Life will teach you a lot of lessons. Some of those lessons will be blessings, and all those lessons, I believe, are blessings. But some of those lessons will bring pleasure, and some of those lessons may bring pain. But all of those lessons will be for your good, especially if your heart is right. And what do I mean by, your heart is right? It means if your intentions are good. Now, we're human. You're human. I'm human. And we're all subject to error in our judgment, because most of us are learning as we go. There's book knowledge, and then there is life experience knowledge. But most of the time, if we can be honest with each other, guys, how you say, we're making it up as we go along. And that could be, in the workplace. So some of you guys and ladies who are in the workplace, you may be having a challenging time, with your career. You may not be meeting the expectations or feel like you're not meeting the expectation for your job responsibilities. But what I'm saying to you is that, stay encouraged. And the best way to stay encouraged is do what's right. And what is right is, do what you believe that would be helpful. Do what you believe that would be insightful. Do what you believe would, if no one was around and someone was talking about you, do what you believe that they would say when you're not around, that, I'm going to make up a name here, okay? Tammy or Judy or John or Robert, they're good people. I like the way they make their decisions. Their decisions are fair. Their decisions are consistent, and they're balanced. And as it relates to, the upwardly, your supervisors, if you continue to, to stay focused, do the right thing by your team, do the right thing by your corporation, by the company, and, then you'll get through it. Just stay focused, And so when it says that young and old, it's just a span. It's just simply saying, your experience is there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a never-ending fountain of knowledge and information. That's what your experience is. So when you get in a tough jam or things aren't good, tap into that. Tap into your experience. Take some time to reflect around times that may be, similar to that time, and how did you get through those situations? Even as importantly, ask yourself the question, when you worried the last time, were you worrying about something that actually happened, or were you worrying about something for fear of what might happen and it never happened? Okay? Because a lot of times that's where we find ourselves in worry. And we don't step back in reflection and say, wait a minute, I've been through this before. What did I do? And what was the final outcome based off of that experience? And you use that to encourage yourself. And again, it's got to be centered around, righteous behavior. And righteous behavior is not perfect behavior, okay? So don't get caught up in how perfect you are. Because, be more focused around whatever what's ever in your hands to do good with, use it. So in other words, whatever you have the power to influence, influence. If you have the power, the ability to do something about it, then do something about it. And if you don't, then be okay with that, because that's not your task. That's probably somebody else's task. You follow me? There are many gifts, many talented people on the earth. And some things are for you and some things are for others to do. And you don't want to take somebody else's gift by forcing a situation that should not have to be forced if it was in your hands to do. If you were given the tools, if you have the tools and the resources. But the big thing is think right thoughts and stay encouraged. And then the second piece of it is seed baking bread. Your children are going to be fine if you are doing the right thing as a parent. You follow me? If you're working hard, you're communicating with your kids, you're doing your best to set the right example for your kids, then don't worry about everything else that's going on. And I said don't worry. I didn't say not be aware of it. I didn't say not be conscious of it. I did not say, take the proper steps to protect, to provide, to guide. That's extremely important. We are instructed to train up a child in the way that child should go. And when that child is old, it won't depart. So we can't just, have what we would call a Mary Poppins, not Mary Poppins, but a Pollyanna. A good friend of mine uses that word. We can't have a Pollyanna mentality that, if I don't do anything, it'll just take care of itself. No, it's not going to take care of itself. Now when it comes down to your children. You got to be engaged, you got to be involved, you got to guide them. But it's no sense to be worried about something that you can influence, okay? If you could do something about it, do it. Again, but if you're living, with a right mindset, a balanced scale, in other words, you're going to do what you know is the right thing. You're going to do what you hope if you were at a disadvantage, someone would do for you, okay? Not necessarily people, because some people take the attitude, well, I'm going to treat people any kind of way because I don't care how anybody treat me. Well, those are fools, all right? We have to suffer the fools. But don't be a fool with that kind of mentality. Take the mindset that, no, I'm going to treat people that if I were in that position that they're in, how would I want to be treated? And then you treat them that way, all right? And don't worry about how they're going to reciprocate that. Sometimes fate will take care of that for you. Karma. Us who believe, we know that Yahweh will bless us 100-fold. I do one thing for you, 10 good things going to happen, for me. All right? I do one evil thing to you, then I can expect, who knows, maybe 10 evil things will happen to me. That's not worth it, guys. But I digress. Coming back to the subject matter at hand. Stay encouraged. There's a lot of darkness in the world today. There's a lot of discouragement. And I know sometimes I bring some of that stuff to you. But I'm not bringing it to you, because I'm the gloom and doom. I'm bringing it to you because I have no other voice saying it, and I refuse to sit on the side and not say something. But that doesn't mean not to be encouraged. You know what I'm saying? We have life. We're blessed to be alive. And not only that, but, we have a promise that we will never be forsaken if we don't forsake others, okay? And so, in the relationships again, I don't want to, if you're having a tough time with your mate, male, female, be patient, be understanding, be kind. If you have to forgive them. You follow me? I don't care how wrong they are. They could be, to the point of just over the top wrong. Forgive them. Because all you're going to do is reap what you sowed. All right? What I mean by that, by forgiving them, you're going to be blessed for that. And it may not come from that person or the person that wronged you. Yahweh may send that from any kind of direction. So when it's in your hands to do good, do it. All right? And don't be afraid. Forgive her. Forgive him. Give him a second chance, third chance. There's a story that, it's in the Bible, but I ain't preaching. Where a guy came to Yeshua. And he told Yeshua, he said, look, if my brother offends me, how many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times? Yahweh's response to him, no. And this was the Apostle Peter, who he told it to. He said, no, you forgive him 70 times 7. Now, last time I checked, 7 times 7 is 49. 70 times 7, y'all can correct my math, but I think that's 490 times. 490 times. I can assure you, if you go about forgiving somebody 490 times, you're going to have a forgiving heart, and you're going to long ago stop counting. But you're also going to be blessed for it. And that's what I mean when I say the statement. You know what I'm saying? If someone wrongs you or does something wrong to you, if you love them, keep on loving them. If they matter to you, continue to embrace them. And if they're not, a part of what you want to be, a part of what you're doing, then dismiss yourself, cut them off, move on without them, okay? You'll be all right even in that instance. But the long and the short of it is this. I have been old, or I am old, and I was young, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their children begging bread. And neither will you if you keep the faith. There you have it. Hope it helps. It will. Reflect on it. Write it down. All right? And by the way, wink, that's Psalms 37:25. Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Pass on the video if you like it. Give it a thumbs up. Talk to you later. DFG. Gideon's Flight.